Hi, my name is Andrew Cirillo. This is my Unit 3 assignment decontamination video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how to clean several different medical pieces of equipment. We have to start off with the proper PPE to be able to clean these instruments. So as you can see, I'm wearing my shoe protectors. I'm wearing gloves, utility gloves. I'm wearing an apron, and I have a face shield and mask combined in one, as well as safety goggles. When you're applying your PPE, you should apply your shoe covers first and then wash your hands. That way you don't touch your shoes with clean hands. After that, put on a gown, and you're gonna do that over scrubs usually. We're also going to be wearing a hair covering as well. The gown protects our scrubs from getting soiled, and the hair covering prevents any cross-contamination while handling the sterile tools. Wearing the safety glasses and the mask/face shield. This is so that any splashing or aerosol in the air doesn't get on your face or in your eyes, nose, or mouth. Lastly, the utility gloves are thicker than nitrile exam gloves, and they are made to hold up to temperature and chemical exposure. If I was wearing a long sleeve gown, when I put the gloves on last, they go over the cuff of the gown as well. In sterile processing, they usually use 3 sink washing bays. The first sink is a wash sink with water and detergent, or an enzymatic solution with a temperature range of 80 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. There would usually be a temperature monitor to verify that the cleaning solution maintains the correct temperature as well. The water hardness, pH, and temperature, the type of soil present on the instrument impact, and the effectiveness of the enzyme cleaner than detergents. So make sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions while mixing chemicals. A second sink is an intermediate rinse that contains utility or critical water. After cleaning a device, that should be thoroughly rinsed to further assist in removing debris and detergent residue. The rinse water should be changed frequently so that the cleaning chemicals do not build up and reattach to the instruments that are being rinsed. In this case, I don't have a third sink, but a third sink would usually be used as the final rinse sink and contains critical water. This helps to prevent instruments from spotting and rinse off cleaning chemicals, residues, and prevents the redepositing of minerals in microbes. I mentioned utility water and critical water. Utility water comes from the tap and may need further treatment to achieve the required specifications, and is usually used for flushing, washing, and rinsing. Critical water is extensively treated to ensure the microorganisms in the organic and inorganic material are removed. This is usually done by method of reverse osmosis or deionized or distilled water. So the first tool I'm going to be cleaning is a Bayonet Taylor forceps. So as you can see, it's heavily soiled. So we'll start in the sink 1, soaking, let it get soft. And then we can start working it with the brush. So we have the serrations in here. You're going to want to brush the same direction of the serrations. Always making sure that the brush is wet. And for demonstration purposes, I'm showing you how to brush it like this. Usually in a medical setting, you would be underneath the water submerged scrubbing so that you prevent any kind of splashing or anything getting back in your face or your eyes. So once you've scrubbed the serrations in the same direction, you want to keep the tool open, and you want to be able to work the box lock area as well. Bodily fluids and blood gets in here, and as you move them, sometimes it comes out. So now we'll go to sink 2, that's the rinsing sink. After this, we would actually go to sink 3, which would be the final rinsing sink. We don't have one at this point, so until this tool is ready for its next process. This is it for the pre-wash process. So the first tool that I'm going to be cleaning is the Cryl forceps clamp, curved. The next tool I'm going to be cleaning is the Bayonet Tailor tissue forceps. So kind of similar process here. There's serrations in here. Start scrubbing under the water. But to show you guys, we're going to go this way with the serrations. We're going to do that on both sides. Now we're going to just scrub the outside. This tool obviously doesn't have any kind of box lock or any kind of hinge, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just scrubbing. Doing this hard work is just making sure that the next processes of sterilization don't have to work as hard, and we get all the main heavy matter off of it before that. So now that they're clean, go ahead and rinse them. And like I mentioned before, after this rinse would actually be the third rinse of the process. So the next tool I'm going to be cleaning is the Metzenbaum scissors. So similar process, but there's no serrations on here, so but there is the box lock, so we're gonna go ahead and soak it a little bit. This would actually have been soaking for several minutes, ideally before this. And then go ahead and, while they're open, scrub. And I'm doing it underwater. Make sure we don't get splashed. Got the whole thing scrubbed down, open. I'm gonna close it halfway. That way it can really get on the box lock area in every position. Try to get everything that we can see off of there. And make sure to do both sides. Everything down the handles. And then off to rinsing. And just as previously stated, there would actually be a third rinse that would be done if we were doing this in the field. So the last tool I'm cleaning is just a little bit different than the previous tools. This is a suction tip. So we have to clean it obviously internally. Here's a brush. When you're selecting a brush, you want to get a brush that's going to fit in there snugly, like this. If you get a brush that's a small enough diameter where it just slides in without contacting the sides, you're not going to get the instrument clean. So we're going to submerge everything underwater. I'm going to come in the back side of it with the brush. I'm twisting and going back and forth. When I pull the brush out, I'm going to pull it out under the water so that the bristles don't splash any kind of aerosol or any kind of spray into my face. Going to use the brush on this end of it, the heavily soiled side, to get everything that we can see off of the outside of it. And we still have a little bit of residue inside. So now is when we'll use the brush, and we'll come back this way. Pull it out under the water. And it is ready to rinse. So we would rinse in here, and if we had a third sink, we would hit the third rinse sink after this. Now that these tools have been cleaned, they're ready for the next process, which would be sterilization. Sterilization could either be methods using steam or chemical sterilization, but first is cleaning the tools with all the heavy soil that you can actually visibly see. So depending on the type of tool, it will depend on what type of the next process is of the actual disinfecting of the tool.